Now tuned in to the Premier Hotspur TV. Sit back, get involved, comment away, because we are live.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Premier Hotspur TV. It's your man Simon, North of England's biggest Spurs fan. Yes, guys, we are back again with another show, guys. Today we're going to go with the reaction of the North London derby friendly yesterday versus Arsenal, and we'll give you some transfer roundup as well. And I'm joined by co-host Matt. Matt, how's it going, pal?
Yeah, all good, mate. Yeah, good day yesterday. Spurs played, pretty well. I was quite happy. It's always nice to beat Arsenal, isn't it? So, yeah, I'm sure we'll get into it. And I hope everyone that's joining us today is all well and happy and safe. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you'll be doing.
Yeah. Yusuf's left a message in it. He went, Sire Matt, talk about Messi. Oh, what a joker. Do you know what, Matt? We'll come back to that in a minute because it makes me laugh. Some of these fans are just literally deluded. But Bats and Stats has come in and said there's nothing better in London on a Monday morning than Derby bragging rights. Come on, you Spurs. Matt and Si, hope you're both well, chat, and looking forward to the new season's Bats and Stats. Thanks for coming in, pal. And yeah, absolutely. Me and Matt will go over that now. The reaction to that win, and it's only, as I said, it's only friendly, but still you've got to win them. And we will go with the Matt. We'll start with this, mate. The reaction to the 1-0 win. And I was at work. I didn't see the game last night when I come in very late. I just quickly saw the highlights, and Matt, I think you was correct. When we was talking before we come online, that first 20 minutes it looked like we did have the best chance there, but Arsenal, like, they grew into it, and so the last 15 minutes they had the chances. But that second half performance, Matt, it was fantastic to see. Some good performances. If we can go like Tanganga, I think he was fantastic, especially second half. I think he was brilliant. I say we've been saying that he's more of a centre back than a right back. Yesterday, we need to see more of that, Matt, innit? We need to see more of that. I mean, just not 1 out of 10. I mean, Son was just terrific again yesterday. Lucas Moura, I think he was fantastic second half as well. Especially the first half, that first 20 minutes, where seriously he had Arsenal's defence literally ragged, mate. Seriously, he was pulling them left to right. So overall, Matt, the goal was fantastic as well. What a goal as well. That pass from the Celso, that little dink over to Tanganga, and that just the power got past that Arsenal player, and he's struck across to Son, and what a finish. I mean, what Son does, Matt. So Matt, tell everyone your reaction and how you thought the game went, and did Spurs deserve it overall?
Well, I think we can all say it was nice watching Spurs with over 50% possession of the ball, something we didn't necessarily see last season. So it was a great game to watch. I thought it was, I thought we were on top, like you say, the first half, first 20 minutes. I thought we were really good. We came out of the traps really fast, which is what we didn't do enough of sort of last season. I thought we were a bit slow and sluggish, whether that's down to fitness or attitude or whatever. But yeah, then they obviously came back into it. Arsenal were always going to have a spell, in the game. As much as we think, they're not, they're a finished club. They're not the Arsenal that we know from 10 years ago, but they'll still have good players and they'll get moments in the games. And it's up to us to hang in there and defend well and have a good goalkeeper at the back who does his job. And I actually thought yesterday we've got to give credit, as much to Tanganga and players like you. I'm the first to have a go at Eric Dyer and Davinson Sanchez when they defend, but I thought yesterday they were, I'd say, pretty solid, to be honest. I thought Sanchez even was trying the Toby-esque over the top through ball, and he did it within the first couple of minutes and pinged it straight over the top to Son. It was a beautiful pass. But yeah, I've just thought I'd get that in because me and you aren't the biggest fans of Dyer and Sanchez, and neither are most Spurs fans. But maybe this signing of Ramiro could push them on and make them better players, or like Diaz has for Manchester City. He's made John Stones a better player, made Laporte step up his game. So I think competition overall is good for the squad. But yeah, I think a massive shout out to Japhet Tanganga. I thought he was probably my man of the match, to be honest. I thought he was really got up and down well, down on the right hand side. He's strong, isn't he? But he can also defend. I think the one thing with Japhet is I just hope he can stay injury free, for a season. You'll see more like that. You can see he's fitter, already through this season. Obviously, he went down towards the end, but I think that might have been a bit of cramp, or because he was walking fine off the pitch even at the end of the game. To be honest, even when Serge Aurier came on, we nearly gave a goal away. I thought he was going to give a penalty away. The way he just lost track of his man, like he didn't care. So I don't really want to see him at right, but I think it will be Tanganga or Doherty for me. But yeah, I thought Oliver Skipp played well again. I thought Højbjerg was back to his sort of best in midfield. I loved his little altercation with Mr. Arteta, and he absolutely cracked himself when Højbjerg came up to him. Love that video clip. But yeah, no, I thought we played really well. I thought Son led the line okay. I don't think he's a striker. I think we can all kind of say that, but he's doing the job, and he scored yesterday, so he's doing his job. I thought Lucas Moura looked lively again. He had Ben White on toast. They're £50 million new centre back, and he even looks like he's improved his game with assists and his ranging of passing. And to be honest, I thought Lo Celso looked very confident when he came on. Like he'd never, like he touched he's had four or five games previous, because he came on and made the midfield better. So I think a lot of positives, going forward. And I think it was great to beat Arsenal. We thoroughly deserved to win. It could have been 2 or 3-0, to be honest. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the game, mate.
Yeah, it was just great, especially before I went to sleep last night. As quickly as went on that Arsenal TV, because I just love it. The reaction from them, absolutely. And do you know what? I forgot which one it was. I think it was Robbie. I could have been, or Lee Judges. It's one of them two. They just said to Spurs, just look supreme over Arsenal. Just look. They looked like they wanted it. They're more hungry, and they had a system, and that's what they said. They you can tell they had a system. I mean, from the word go, they pressed. I mean, he said we did have a system yesterday. We didn't know what was going on, and they're very worried about the season, Matt. They really are. These Arsenal fans, and what I saw yesterday, mate. I tell you, where was Aubameyang? Do you know what? I didn't know he was playing until I looked at the team sheet. He was there. How anomalous he was.
I'd say Lacazette's a better striker than him at the moment.
Absolutely. So I thought, I just think overall, mate, I just think too early yet with Nuno. We're still unbeaten in the pre-season, and we'll see how we go. I mean, the
signs of it all, though. The team looks a bit more kind of together. I love the way he handles himself during the interview. He's quite a humble man. I'd say that, and pretty polite, but I'm sure behind the scenes he can be quite nasty, and he'll get the job done. He hasn't had the easiest time in pre-season with all the Kane news and players away. So yeah, I think he's done a good job with the squad, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll get into more the Kane just at the end before we go. We'll have another speak about Kane, because what's going on, Matt? The last time we spoke, mate, I think it's a bit of a circus at top.
It's all getting a bit silly, isn't it?
Yeah. I think Kane's made himself look a bit silly now. We got our turn beats. Ad, Thanks for tuning in, pal. Yes, lad. Got Yusuf. Hello, people. It's good to see you guys streaming in the morning. We'll stream when we can. If it's the morning, if it's night. But Yusuf, thanks for coming about. We've got Wayne Bonner. Yes, pal. Thanks for coming in, matey. Morning, Simon. Morning, Matt. Arsenal shit. Yes, we agree. They're in the mud. And we got Paul Foot. How's it going, Paul? Morning, Simon, Matt. Great performance yesterday and some outstanding individual performances by Tanganga, Delhi, and Son. We are improving so much. Even Dyer played well. Yeah, and Matt touched it on there. We massive stick for Sanchez and Dyer, and we thought they were quite steady yesterday. They looked, well, what I saw of it, I only saw the highlights. They looked quite comfortable dealing with the Arsenal attack. And I'll go on about Aubameyang again. He was absolutely. I didn't know until I looked at that team sheet after. I was flipping out because I was looking for him. I was like, he did start. I thought, Jesus Christ, I didn't hear his name once in that game. Wow.
Yeah.
Arsenal fans must be worried, Matt, about Aubameyang. And Wayne says, Aubameyang, who's he? Is he a football player? That's what I'm saying, Wayne. Seriously, mate, he just anomalous yesterday. Seriously, I didn't know he was playing. I really didn't. Wayne said, we may be in the Conference League, but Arsenal will be in the Championship. Go on, Wayne. But Matt, if you was an Arsenal fan, would you be worried about Aubameyang in a minute? Just talk quickly about because if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be well worried. I think this guy just literally is taking the piss out of Arsenal now. I think he's just stealing the living now out of Arsenal. 370 odd grand a week. He's not in paying them back, is he? He really ain't. He just looks like he just wants the lavish lifestyle on it, Matt. These cars and the girls and looks after his hair more than wants to play football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These kind of players are creeping into the game, mate, and it's stealing the living. George's quick reaction on Aubameyang there.
Yeah, well, I don't really know what to say about him. Obviously, he was a good goal scorer, and then I think big money's gone to his head, and he's almost happy. And I think he almost sat on his laurels, thinking, I'm Arsenal's top goal scorer. I'm not going to be out of the squad. The problem is there's no competition there, really. But he's also playing him on the left hand side or the right hand side. If I was maybe Arteta, I'd maybe try and play him through the middle just to maybe get him a goal. Try and get some of the confidence back. But no, you know what? Long may it continue, because we have many conversations, with Arsenal fans over years, and they compared him and said, he's better than Mr. Kane or Son. Well, I'll tell you what, at the moment, he's nowhere near him.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Matt, they can bang on about how he's better than Kane and things like that. But firstly, he's not even better than Son, is he? He's not even better than Son at the minute. You know what I mean? Son's level.
Do you know what? I don't even think he's better than average Premier League strikers, because he doesn't score. You'd have to say. It's not
worrying for a Spurs fan. We're loving it, but he's Arsenal fan. They must be worried, mate. And the way
I think
Robin and Lee was going on yesterday, they're literally saying we need another forward. We need someone up there who's going to score goals, and they're worried. I'm happy about it. I mean, let them suffer down there. But as Wayne said there, Aubameyang has turned into the new Ozil. He was actually at 100%. Absolutely. He's sitting as what Matt said. He'll sit on that contract now until the end, and he'll literally just grab that 370 grand a week. That's it. And then I think he'll just go abroad, Qatar or wherever, and grab another bit of a 1-2 year contract on big money. You know what I mean? You used to say both Chelsea and Tottenham beat Arsenal in pre-season. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think Arsenal won a game in pre-season. I don't think they won a game, Arsenal.
Yeah, they did. They beat Millwall, wasn't it? Behind the scenes. Who else? I think they beat Blackpool, did they? As well.
No, I think they drew. I thought they drew.
Or was it Drew?
They
Right,
lost.
yeah, I think,
They lost against some Scottish team, I think, and they drew against Rangers. And then, yeah.
and we've got Bill Bez. Thanks for tuning in, pal. More annoying. Come on, you Spurs. So I was just pleased that we got one over the Arsenal again, Matt. You know what I mean? It was fantastic. That, you know what I mean? Doesn't matter if it's a friendly. You know what I mean?
It's not a friendly when it's us two, is it? It's not.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, both teams played pretty strong lineups, but both teams had players missing as well. So they can't
Matt,
use it.
Yeah, go on, mate.
Well, I know certain Arsenal fans have gone, you know, we didn't have our strongest lineup, but neither did Spurs. You know, really. You know, we didn't have Lascelles, so didn't have Ndombele.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have, you know, our best striker. You know, so, and we've had players who've just come back from the Euros as well. So I don't think it's fair. Yeah, I thought we were better, we were more organised, and you know, if anything, we probably should be the team that Arsenal should be the team that we were yesterday, because they should be buying into their manager's project. But it doesn't look that way at all. I think Nuno's only been here a month or two, and you're already seeing the players are listening. Everyone's smiling. Everyone's kind of coming together. I'm happy with it, to be honest. So
yeah, I've said just overall reaction was a good performance by Spurs.
Yeah.
And okay, it didn't feel like a London derby. It didn't feel like a North London derby yesterday, Matt. With good crowds. No. I mean, it's good to have the crowd back. I mean, brilliant.
Yeah, it was great when the roar happened. I really wanted a goal just to hear the, you know, just have finally listen to a goal celebration. But
yeah, and it was good to see Tottenham fans, Matt, clapping Saka when he come on. I think that was good. And I've seen some of the Spurs fans' reaction on Twitter, saying, "Why the hell do we clap Saka?" At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Racism. I mean, it's not needed in football, so that's probably why they clapped him.
I thought it was great to see, and it wasn't a proper, you know, North London proper derby. It was a pre-season game. I think it was very respectful and nice of the club to do it. And you know, we all want to try and, you know, we want to get rid of racism. And it, you know, I think when you know, Man United players like Rashford and Sancho come, you know, to the Spurs stadium, I'd like us to do the same, because those boys have been through a terrible time. All those messages they probably received, and you know, all those messages of hate, and you know, it was a good way of trying to stand up to it. And people, you know, being negative about it and being stupid about it, then we just don't want people like that at our club or even in football.
Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely. We've got Wayne saying North London derby aside, big up the Spurs fans for giving that young Saka a round of applause when he come on. Yes, Wayne, we've been talking about that. Yeah, it was good to see. It really is good to see. And also fans can say what they want about the Spurs fans, but at least we showed some dignity yesterday. You know what I mean? Some respect. I mean, so yes, Matt. So going into that, mate, does that give you a bit more confidence going into the City game this Sunday coming? With City, they will have players out as well, Matt. They won't have no Foden. Sterling's out. De Bruyne's out. And the way we played, Matt, especially that second half performance, what I saw, mate, I wouldn't be too frightened, because I was at work Saturday and I watched that City game.
Yeah, there's weaknesses there, wasn't there? They weren't great. They weren't fantastic. Yeah.
On a break, I watched most of the second half, and City didn't look great, pal. They didn't look great. I think Leicester. I just don't think it was a good game overall, Matt. I think it was a bit of a dull game, and
but Shield normally is, though, isn't it? Really,
yeah, I don't think you can take much from it. But saying that, Matt, what I saw of City when we got City on Sunday, I'm not really worried about going into that game, Matt. Especially what I saw yesterday. from the Spurs, and maybe that's probably the team that probably will go in against City, barring one or two. Matt, I can't see many changes. Kane definitely won't be in there.
No,
Romero apparently he's
I don't
picked
think
up a
he'll be
minor
there.
injury. He's
Well,
picked up a
he
minor
had
injury.
he had a minor
He's
knock
come
from the Copa
he's come
America
with a minor
final.
knock.
So.
Yeah. So that is just Spurs all over, isn't it, Matt? That is just a proper Spursy signing, isn't
But
it?
I mean,
Sign
even if
someone with a minor knock.
I think even if we would have got him in, injury free, I still think he needs time to, get himself into the squad and into training. So I probably would have played him more probably for the Wolves game or whoever we've got after that. So
Yeah,
but
exactly, Matt. Exactly.
I think
Go on,
it
mate.
will give. I think this signing has given Dyer and Sanchez a bit of a predicament that they've got to play well. Otherwise, one of them's going to be sold, or
I think. Do you know what,
just
Matt?
drop.
I think it could be a statement signing. It could be. I'm not raving. I'm not going to look into it too much until I see him in the Premier League. You know what I mean? And as we said before, about we can watch videos and watch him in the Italian league. Yeah, he's a good. All I can say is I'm just going to wait until he beds into the Premier League and let's see if he's the real deal. I mean, then I'll make my judgment then. I mean,
But I think now, because you've got another centre back in, Dyer and Sanchez probably, well, we can't do, before they didn't have anyone behind him. Okay, Joe Rodon, that's really it, who they're looking behind. Now they're looking at this guy who can, they can see, can defend, and could easily get back in that team. And, I think competition's massive. I think that's how City do so well. And, most teams win the league when they have good depth. And, so I think it'll be interesting to see. But I think if Dyer and Sanchez play like they did yesterday, and just keep it simple rather than overplay and do stupid things, they're actually not bad defenders. Not
no,
too bad.
yeah, I totally agree there, Matt. I really do. But it sounds like, Matt, we are targeting another centre. But we'll get into that when we talk about the transfer round in a minute. And what do you think, Matt? Before we get to the transfer roundup, what do you think of how Nuno's setting up this team now? How he's moulding his team. He's trying to and how he's trying to get over to the players his philosophy, how he wants to play. Can you see a bit of a difference in the way Jose team set up and the Pochettino's team set up? Is this a completely different way, or has he just gone back to just let them attack? I mean, and how do you think Spurs will play this season under Nuno? I think Matt's frozen, guys. So I'll just go on, guys, and I just think it's interesting to see how Nuno's going to set up this team. It's going to be very interesting, and I think he's not done yet. Matt, are we back?
I think. Hello, am I back?
Yeah, you're back. Yeah, Matt. How do you think Nuno's going to set up this season? Is it different to what you see so far? Is it a different style of play like we saw under Mourinho and Pochettino?
I think it'll be more going back to the sort of Pochettino type days of a slightly maybe different formation. It could be better football. You just never know. I think it'd be better football than what we saw under Mourinho, especially towards the end. I mean, I don't think you'll see us being pragmatic, to be not too much when we need to be. But I think when we get a goal, we're not going to sit back on our laurels, because I don't think that suits our team and our philosophy. And I think, if you get a second goal, it just helps the back line a bit more. I think the addition of Skip into midfield will help out Højbjerg, because you kind of got two kind of holding-ish midfielders, and then someone like a Dele or a Lo Celso who can do a mixture of everything. But I think we'll be quite hard to work out. I don't think we're going to be with our front three. Without Kane, I don't think it's easy to play against that front three because they make so many different movements, and Son can go from the left to the right, back to the middle. Bergwijn can come inside. Mora can do his sort of mazy little runs and go into the 10 and then back out wide if he needs to, or swap with Lo Celso or Ali. So I think there's a lot more variety in there. I don't think we're going to be as predictable as we were last season, and I think we look fitter already. The pressing was back yesterday.
Yeah, we look more sharp, Matt, in attacking it. That we did under Mourinho. Look, a bit more energetic in our play.
A bit stronger as well. Like, I know Nuno came in and said he's brought in a strength and conditioning coach to help build the players' strength up. And I think you saw it with Tanganga yesterday. He shoved that Arsenal player off the. He didn't really shove him, but he used his upper body strength.
He just got in front of him, innit? He just got in front of him.
And he went, "I'm having this." Great layoff to Son. He held off and then smashed it in the corner. Yeah. So I think Matt, a lot of positives.
Overall, we'll just round this up now. Overall, going into the season, which side of defence of fans will have more confidence going into the season? Do you think Arsenal are worried about their team at the minute? And do you think Spurs fans are happy what they're seeing at the minute? There's more to come. So who's going to be the more worried, Matt, going into the season about their teams?
I think Arsenal. I think Spurs look pretty good, to be honest. And I think, we're playing quite a few of the big teams, I suppose, when you kind of want to play them rather than in December sort of time. So if we can get through our run, and get a few wins and maybe get results against the Cities and the Arsenals, we could be up there. But then it was just how we're going to do against the smaller teams, which is kind of what we struggled with sort of last season, or most teams we struggled against. But I'm looking forward to the season. But from what I saw yesterday, I'd be more worried as an Arsenal fan than a Spurs fan, because if we could have finished a couple more, it could have been 3 or 4, like I said yesterday. But it's only pre-season, and but Arsenal haven't got an easy game on Friday night, Brentford. So their fans are going to be back. Brentford are going to be up for it. They're no mugs. So I'm quite looking forward to the season. I'm looking forward to the season starting, to be honest, just to watch it with all the fans back and enjoy it.
The thing is, Matt. The one thing I can say about Spurs since last season, I can see there's a difference already. You know what I mean, in our play. It looks like we have gone back to the Pochettino attacking days. But Nuno with Nuno's philosophy on top of that. You know what I mean? He'll play his way. We look more fit. Arsenal, mate, just look the same as last season and the same as the last couple of seasons, mate. Or even worse, Matt. I really do. I can't see them, mate, being any problem to anyone at the minute. They need reinforcements. Even with reinforcements, Matt, they don't look like a teammate who's playing together. They don't look like they know what's going on. They don't know a philosophy. Just looks like they're all over the gaff at the minute. And even the Arsenal fans, they're worried. They're worried. And we don't need to worry about them, Matt. I think.
I just want to concentrate on us and enjoy a good season. I think we all just want to see good football again.
I'm confident we'll finish above them anyway. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, we've got Wayne here saying, "Love your stream, fellas. This morning stream proves I picked the right week to take off work." Wayne, thanks very much, pal. Absolutely fantastic for your
support. Have a good week off as well.
Yeah, have a fantastic week off, pal. So yes, Matt. So we both think Arsenal, other teams should be worried. The fans stay. But Spurs, I think I'm cagey. Matt, I don't want to keep saying yes, we're going to have a fantastic. I'm just going to go game by game and let's see how we go.
And
let's go to the end of August, Matt, and let's see
Yeah.
who we bring in, because we don't know yet, Matt. I said it a couple weeks ago, Matt. There is one or two special signings in there still for Spurs. I really do.
Yeah.
I think it's a couple of surprise signings.
I think it'll be more towards the end of the window, though. I think that last week of the window could be, a lot of potential ins and sort of outs. I believe, and from what I've heard, a lot of the clubs are outside the Premier League. All the other leagues are struggling for money, so a lot of people have to sell, which is why there's so many good deals and loans to go through. And I'm sure we'll obviously speak about the Ramiro deal as well, because I think it's quite a clever deal from Spurs.
So to loan in, but it sounds like, Matt, it's not an option to buy it. It's literally you're loaning them and you're buying them. That's what I'm getting, Matt.
Yeah,
It's not.
but
It's not an option
next
sending back.
season.
Next season,
when we would have got
we've got
most of our money back.
But the thing is, Matt, before when it comes to next season, mate, we'll have hopefully, fingers crossed, full stadiums now till the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
The money will be raking in. And it's a clever deal. It's another Daniel Levy true deal.
Yeah, we've got the boxing fight coming up. That will bring in a lot of money. So there's money coming in. So.
Yeah. We got yes, Chris from Leicester. Tell our die TV. Hope you haven't peaked too soon. Oh dear. And he goes on to say, "Can we borrow your trophy cabinet? Ours is getting a bit full." Banter. Hashtag banter. Chris.
Well done
thanks for coming in.
Well.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, pal. Leaving a couple of comments. Absolutely fantastic, mate. And yeah, as Matt said, congratulations for winning that on Saturday. Sorry, fantastic. I mean, I said I saw the second half. Wasn't a great game, but as Matt said, the community shows are never are great games. But you got the win, and what a great time to get a penny in the 89th minute. There's no better time, is there, to get a penny and stand up. And I think Leicester's added another trophy to their cabinet. It's more than what we can say, Matt.
Well, I think it will be interesting with Leicester to see what centre back comes in to replace Fofana, because they're going to have to bring someone in. And I'm really sorry to hear about
tackle.
A terrible tackle. Should never have been. Should be banned for a tackle like that, especially in pre-season.
Yeah.
And we hope him. We hope him a speedy recovery. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what Chris says if there's any centre backs linked with Leicester. I think last time I read it's Vestergaard from Southampton, but he's not a bad player.
No, I think he'll do well at Leicester. And Chris says, "Cheers, guys." As we won, it was a major trophy. Had we lost it, would have been a pre-season for. And whatever we do, you will still bloody beat us. Yeah, we always have great games against you, Chris, isn't it? I heard you the other day as well saying you bloody hate Spurs. I heard on your channel the other day. It's just, I don't know what it is when we go up against Leicester, and it's always goals, isn't it? Crazy, like the likes of Kane and something. They love scoring against Leicester, isn't it? And especially Harry Kane.
My first ever Spurs game was against Leicester. I think it was 4-4 or 5-4, something like that.
It was a crazy game. Crazy, absolutely. But yes, Chris, we'd like to hear your reaction as what Matt said there. Any defenders like maybe coming in? I know you did ask Fabrizio on your channel the other day. And we'll go with transfer roundup, Matt. Chris come back in there actually. They want Cahill on a 1-year contract, free transfer, experience. Would do a good job. Yeah, I just think Cahill's over the hill, though, Chris.
Yeah.
So what Matt thinks, I think his Premier League days are over, and I think he just needs to go down the level, isn't it? If he wants to still continue playing football. I've always rated Cahill when he was at Bolton, when he went to Chelsea, and fantastic defender. Matt, transfer roundup. Let's get into it. What more can we go? So many transfers we've been linked with, Matt. Well, mate, just gotta do one. It's this man here, Matt. Yesterday, a load of rumours come around about this guy, Lautaro Martinez, from Inter Milan to Spurs, £60 million agreed, and so many these Twitter accounts of announcing it yesterday. I did not believe 1 second of it, Matt. To me, and if we just go on about Lautaro, actually, he started his career at Racing Club 2015 2018, 48 appearances, 22 goals. Then he went on to Inter Milan 2018 to present, 100 appearances, and he's only got 37 goals, Matt. He's 23, 6 foot, and obviously he's a striker. And as you said, Matt, he likes playing as a 2 up top, and it looks like Spurs won't play as a 2 up top. To me, Matt, I have seen this guy a couple of times for Inter Milan. I've seen a few videos of him. It doesn't make me go, wow. It doesn't make me go, especially for £60 million, Matt. If we are talking of Harry Kane replacement, I can't see this man being the main replacement for him, mate. I just don't think he scores enough goals for me. He looks like a link-up man, as you said, Matt. If he plays as a 2, he looks like he's more of a creative for the other striker. So what's your overall reaction on Lautaro Martinez and the link to Tottenham, Matt?
I think it was one that came out of the blue. Obviously, it was reported by the Times, which is, I'd say a pretty good source, to be honest, or tier. I like him. To be fair, I don't think he's going to be a 30 goal a season striker, but even if he could get 10 or 11 alongside Son as well, and players like that, it would help us massively in terms of up front. It would give us a bit more, time to rest players, and he could bed in. I still believe he needs to play with 2 up front, because I don't think he can do it on his own. Because he played with Lukaku, obviously, at Inter Milan. They had quite a good partnership together. So I suppose my thoughts on it, I suppose if he's coming in, then either another striker's coming in alongside him or Kane's staying. So but I think that'll be interesting to see. But from what I'm hearing, Inter don't want to sell him because they're getting rid of Lukaku. So I don't know.
And this is the problem, Matt. This is a problem with Lukaku going into Chelsea. Crazy money. This guy's not worth 97 million or whatever it is, but to me, it's a good striker. At that age now, Matt, he's 27, 28. I think Chelsea's overpaying again. I think he'll do well at Chelsea. Don't get me wrong, he'll score goals. He's done that wherever he's gone, Matt. I just don't think he's worth that much. I think Inter Milan, they've got a great deal there. So that just brings me on to, why would they sell Lautaro Martinez if they get rid of Lukaku? But as what Wayne says here, he says Inter Milan, they need money.
Apparently they're gonna, from what I've heard, they need to sell most of their squad. So
yeah, and he says get in there and snap up Martinez and Skriniar, and that could be, Wayne, if we get rid of Harry Kane, if we get the money for Harry Kane, that would be a good deal, I think. Getting Martinez and Skriniar will be the one that I'll be quite happy with. Alongside Romero. I'm not overly sold on Martinez. But as I said, Matt, he's young. He's 23. Yeah. He hasn't got the worst of records.
Yeah. I think what's out there as well, there's actually not many strikers out there at the moment, is there really? That's the problem.
That is the problem we've got in a minute, yeah. Chris says, big up you guys, got to go. Great show. Stay safe. Chris, thanks for coming on, pal. Absolutely fantastic, pal. Facts and Stats says, let's go all out and sign him. Yeah, I'm not totally against it, Facts and Stats. I'm just a bit weary of what I see on his record. I can't see him being the number one replacement if it's going to be a replacement for Harry Kane, to me. But as what Matt said, who's around at the minute? And this is the problem. Wayne says Henry Wright on his stream looked it up, and they have 60 days to pay what they owe, or they cease to assist. Wow, if that's true, well,
they
I
might
can
have
see.
to sell mine. They might have to.
Yeah. Well, I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know the story. So, if that's true, Spurs should get the 150 million or whatever City offer from, and go and get Skriniar and Martinez. Slap it all on them. I mean, because Matt, I don't think, Matt, we need a lot more silence, Matt. I think with all the players coming back, Matt, as a team, if we get another centre back in, and if we get someone to replace, I think we're ready to go, Matt. I really are.
Yeah.
If we keep everyone fit, Matt, I think we are ready to go.
Get rid of some one of Sissoko or Winks or both of them, and then maybe bring in another midfielder. And Inter have that the Italian midfielder Barella. He played really well in the Euros. 22 years of age, good slot in our midfield very nicely. So I'd maybe looking for a deal for him as well.
Yeah, that would be another good signing, another good deal if we can get something like that over the line. I just think we're not far away, Matt.
No.
Deadwood wise, we need to get rid of still.
Yeah.
We have to get rid of Winks. It doesn't matter if it's going to be. I think we have to get rid of Winks, Sissoko, Dyer, Sanders. We have to not just one of them or two of them, all of them. And we need a refresh now, Matt. And if we can get one or two over the line, Matt, another centre back, or maybe another two centre backs, Matt. You know what I mean? And get rid of the likes of Davinson Sanchez and Dyer. You know what I mean? But as we know, Matt, it's not going to be done over one window. You know what I mean? It'll be over the next couple of windows. But at least we can see, Matt, at the minute with the transfers, we can see a difference already, Matt. And we can see they've got a plan, and Patatici's got a plan. He's moving quick. I mean, he's behind scenes. He sounds like he's talking all the time to different players. That is going to fit the bill, Matt. Not just bring any other player in because it's been mentioned in the Sun or the Mirror. And this is how Spurs, I think, have acted in the past, Matt. People like saying, yes, he's top class. Instead of going out and scouting him, looking at him, oh, yeah, we just paid money for him and he's end up in dog shit. You know what I mean? So I think Paratici is bringing the players who's going to fit the bill, fit the way Nuno wants to play.
Well, I think what they're doing as well is I think Paratici and Hitchin as well are actually speaking directly with Nuno as well to see if he fancies it. And I think this is the key. Give the manager what he wants and what he needs. Not go and get someone who what we've done in the past where, Pochettino, apparently, if you've read it in his book, The Brave World, he didn't want Sissoko. And then we go and sign him. But it seems like now with Paratici and everyone on board, you're getting players who Nuno wants. Yeah,
absolutely. And that's how I think. And I think that's how it should. And that's how I think it should work out, Matt.
Yeah, 100%.
What the manager wants. What the manager wants. You know what I mean? And in the past, Daniel Levy just that Sissoko was just a rush. It was a rash transfer, mate. We didn't get our number one targets in. And on the last day, mate, in the 11th hour, wasn't it, Matt? They just went and said there's 30 million for him, you know what I mean, and coughed up the bill. Adam says, looking forward to the start of the season. Come on, Spurs. Yes, Adam. Yes, come on, you Spurs. And Wayne says, I still go for Aguero. Apparently, Barcelona breached his contract because he signed to play with Messi. It'd be interesting to see if that's true, Matt. I
Yeah.
mean,
He's injured.
I've
Guerrero's
heard.
injured. He's injured. He's done his calf. So I don't want to play.
Yeah,
I don't want to play who's just going to be crocked all the time. And there's a lot of
I,
wages
I,
as well.
I just want to see if that's proper true. You know, I mean, I've heard a couple of stories on it. I mean, I'm not too sure.
Mm.
They would have put that in the contract. You know what I mean? Knowing what's going on. Facts and stats said with Inter in trouble and needed to sell, we hold the keys in Paratici. Yeah, it could it could be right. It could be right. They've got a number of days to pay this bill off. I mean, and they're desperate for money. They're going to sell. It's a shame because Inter done so well last season. It baffles me now. Now it sounds like they're going back to square one where there was a fair few years ago. I mean, struggling in Serie A. It's like
Apparently, they still owe Man United money for Lukaku as well.
that's what I'm saying. It's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely
So
crazy.
they've obviously done a lot of dodgy stuff, and they've paid over the odds in wages and transfers, and it's come back to bite them.
And Wayne says, would you sell Ondobbly to bring someone else in as he's flattered to deceive in the last 2 years? Well, Matt would like to see the back of Tanguy. When Matt just goes on to say he's been here now for a few years, there's been no improvement. But me on the other side, I'd like to just give him one more season under Nuno. Just to see how he goes. So, I mean, and if it doesn't work out, then we say, listen, he's still young. You know what I mean? At that stage, Matt, he'll be 24, 25. We can still get a good amount of money for him. Do you know what I mean? So, Matt. So yeah, just what's your overall reaction to Tanguy? Would you want him to stay? Do you want him to go? Or would you say, you know what, we'll give him one more chance?
You know, a lot of talent in the play. You know, we've seen glimpses of it, but he hasn't completed 90 minutes once. I don't think, or he's 60 minutes and he's off. He looks knackered when he comes on. He looks overweight.
I think he's done it twice. I think, Matt, 90 minutes. I'm positive.
Yeah.
There was once where we were all laughing at it and it's just the last 90 minutes.
But twice out of how long in 2 seasons? You know, when you pay money for a player like that, you expect him to be, you know, I'd say controlling the midfield and dominating the midfield, and I haven't seen a display like it yet. You know, he's a very good player, and I just think he needs to switch his attitude, or he needs to get his priorities right and get himself fit. He could be another one where the money's gone to his head and he likes to spend money on lavish things. And I know his wife's obviously had a baby, but there's no excuse. He's had 8 weeks off to get himself fit, and he should be in that pre-season squad, and he's failed. And again, can you rely on a player like that? You know, he's on these 200 grand a week wages, or whatever. He's on pretty high wages, and he's not even in the squad. He's not even on the bench. You see him the other day, Tottenham post on their Spurs official. He's smiling and laughing, and he's running around on the training pitch. And then we hear after the game that he's not ready. What's he been doing? What has he been doing for 8 weeks? I know he deserves a holiday or whatever, but he's clearly not fit.
I just think it's a mystery.
That's the thing that frustrates me.
Because as you said, Matt, we can see we know exactly what he can do. What he can do.
I think I'd give him until January. If I don't see anything by January, but when's January? He's got 6 months or 4 or 5 months. Get himself fit, get himself in the team. You know, and if he improves, he can stay. But I think if by January, if you're not seeing anything, I just think it's get him off the wage bill and get a big fee for him, or at least make your money back.
Yeah. Well, I think, as I said, he's not at the back end of his career. He's still young, so we can still give him one more chance, and we still can get probably 30, 40 million for him still, because he's still quite a younger player. But But we've seen glimpses of him, though, Matt.
Yeah, we
And
have
that's the
seen
frustrating
glimpses
bit.
of him.
And that goal against Sheffield United, that's the
Oh,
sort of power.
unbelievable.
It's an unbelievable goal, and this is what we got at the club, Matt. We have got talent. He needs to go out there and just give
But
it for
imagine
15, 20 games.
if he had like the attitude and the desire and the work rate of someone like a Højbjerg, how good could he be? Seriously.
Oh no, he's definitely a top signing, and it proved it against that game with Lyon against City. In the Champions League, it's quick, it's fast, and the way he dominated that midfield, Matt, the way he flipping just absolutely took that game by the scruff, and that's the
one
Tungy we've seen over the past. And
the one thing I think with last season, he was playing in a holding role, wasn't it? I don't think he's a holding midfielder. Personally, I don't think he can play with a Pierre in a double pivot. It doesn't work because he doesn't have the fitness for it. If you're going to play him, I think he's got to be played in the more advanced role where he can just be unleashed. And I think that's where he's got to play.
We've said this before, Matt. We've said this before. We've said it a load of times. Tungy is not a double pivot guy who can play in it. He hasn't got the energy. He hasn't got the fitness. But what he has got, he's got a bundle of talent. He's got talent behind him. And he's an exceptional player going forward, Matt. Exceptional player going forward. And as you said there, he'll in a more advanced role, in a more of a 10. Just behind that striker, in that pocket. He makes things happen on that edge of that box, mate. He's such quick feet. His feet is amazing.
Yeah, of course.
Amazing.
Of course.
And I think it's now Nuno. It's up to Nuno now to use Tungy's strengths and not his weaknesses. I think
he's trying to get him fit, because I think if he's going to be part of that midfield three, if we do go, he's got to be fit and he's got to be tracking back and doing his job like Ali's been doing. So I don't. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's just not ready. But for me, it just annoys me.
In my eyes, Matt, if you've got a double pivot, we don't need him to defend, Matt. I know what you're trying to say.
No, exactly.
He can at least like close down and things like I totally agree.
I just want him to track back. He doesn't have to go mad. But I want him to kind of do what Ali was doing, where he's popping up yesterday in the little pockets and spaces and go past people. That's what we want. That's what he's good at. So I think he will,
Matt. I think we get him in the right shape of mind. Get him back into that little, because he did have a bit of a spell, Matt, over the last couple of games, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And he looked very good. And that's why I'll never give up on Tungy, because I know exactly what this guy is about. Going forward. We didn't sign him to defend, Matt, do we? We signed him to get the ball and make things happen.
I think that's been the problem with Spurs. I think we saw him as a Dembele direct replacement, and I don't think he is a Moussa Dembele, to be honest. I think he's
absolutely.
I think we need to just play him further forward, and you may see the best of him, and maybe just say to him, look, you don't have to defend too much in this position. I just want you to do what you do best. Go and dominate the midfield. Go past people and open up the spaces for Son, Mora, Bergwijn, whoever it is, Brian Hill, and let them do the business, and then he's doing his job.
Absolutely, pal. Wayne says Ndombele is a quality player with a poor mentality. Spot on. And this is what I'm saying. If he gets that mentality right, we've got a player on our hands, mate. I think into that still owes us for Ericsson. Wouldn't be surprised. You just say the Yid kid is developing his channel. He does streams and got like Cody Mack and Irish Hotspur on his channel at times. I don't know what that point's about. We just concentrate on our own channel, Yusuf. And if we want to bring people on, we'll bring people on at the end of the day. We act differently on our channel. They like to copy other channels.
We don't have hours beyond hours of our time.
Exactly.
Simon's working, I'm working. We do our best with whatever we can do, We've got up at 9 a.m. today to get ready for a stream at 10. So
when both of us working 50, 60 hours a week, and this is our day off, and we're doing a stream, so there is people out there have got time and time and time under their belts. You know what I mean, where they can produce content after content. I mean, that's their decision. That's their lives. That's not me. I'm not interested in making money through this platform. We just do it. We just do it. Just come on. I like speaking with Matt. Like speaking to everyone in the chat, and that's it. We got Mike. Oi, oi, lads. Yes, Mike. Hotspur, hustler from Paxton Road TV. Get over to them guys.
Good
are doing
show.
great.
Good show yesterday, Mike. I tuned in. It was good from the Paxton Road line. I enjoyed it.
Mike says, I'm nervous if we play 4-3-3 against City. Leaves us a bit too open in the middle of the park. I prefer a 4-2-3-1 against City and pack the middle of the park out a bit more. Yeah.
I think Leicester showed you how to beat them, to be honest. I think they packed the midfield. They played the sort of two CDMs in Ndidi and and then they played a Marty. I have to play him a centre back, but he's good on the ball and good in midfield. So yeah, I think we've got to just try. Well, no, I'm not saying hang in there against City because I'd like us to, with our fans, but I'd like us to, they could be vulnerable. They could be. I think don't be stupid and just go all out attack. But I think with our pace we can get in behind, and their players like Walker and Sterling haven't even played pre-season games. I don't think, or they're just back. So I think it's a great time to play them, and I'm looking forward to it on Sunday.
What I'm hearing, Matt, there's no De Bruyne, no Foden. Sterling's struggling. Walker's struggling, and it does sound like they won't be ready as yet. It looks like it's going to take them a month or so to get all the players back and get going again.
Yeah. Because I think obviously they've got Cancelo and he's very good, but I don't think Mendy's that great at left back, and I think we can get in behind him. I'd definitely target him. I think he's a bit of a liability at times, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yusuf says, get back Hyper. Them days are gone. Them days gone, Yusuf. Hyper's a good lad, but them days are gone. As said, me and Matt, we only do 1 or 2 streams a week, and that is it. That's all we can do at the minute. Obviously, I've changed jobs. It's what I'm doing at the minute is absolutely mental. But only up to end of August, hopefully, when the kids go back and it'll quieten down a bit more. But what you got to do, because this is not making us money, and you need. So we got Lewis 2705. Hello lads, been a while. Do you think we will really see an improvement this season? I don't want to judge too much in pre-season. Yeah, I'm still judgmental. I'm on the fence with the appointment of Nuno. I want to see more yet. I want to see the season kick off. And in pre-season, I have seen a bit of improvement. I have seen us pressing more on the front foot, attacking teams again, like we did under Poch. So yeah, we are getting there in that sense. But we have to see how it goes on over the whole of the season. I'm not judging it until the end of the transfer window. See who else we bring in. Then me and Matt can say, do you know what? We can probably see how the season's going to go with the sort of signings we've got. And so, Matt, your answer to this: have you seen improvement since Nuno's come in? And is it too early to judge?
Well, I mean, it might be too early to judge, but I think with the season we had last season, I think anything will be much better this season. I think we're going to see better football for a start. I just want to be able to enjoy our football against Simon, because there were times during when we were watching last season doing our watch longs, but we had to amuse ourselves, because rather than watch the game, because it was that hard to watch. It was a good laugh, obviously, but it was a bit of a roller coaster last season, even the last season before. So I just think a bit of structure, at least an identity, we're starting to see. He's already looks like he's kind of got his formation that he kind of wants to play. but I think he can adapt it as well. And I think we're going to be quite hard to predict, because you could go to a 3 at the back, you could go to a 4-2-3-1, or you could play a flat 4-3-3. I think we've got the players to do it. You know, I think we're going about our business reasonably well. I think we've gone quite quiet under the radar, and you know, I think the team's, you know, quite enjoying Nuno and adapting to his style, and there's a lot of smiles on faces, and players are putting in shifts. And you know, I'd love Emil Højbjerg's interview yesterday on Spurs TV, talking about what he knows this squad's better than it, you know, was last season. What he did say is we need to improve up here, which is your mentality when it gets tough. So that tells me last season
we've got a breeding and winning mentality, Matt, and I think that's what he's trying to get at in it. That's what he's got to try.
I think
we've got a good team.
But he's not just saying about. I think he's saying the club in general needs to get that winning mentality. From what I,
maybe Matt, maybe we've had their players in the team. We just need someone to come in and to release the life out of them again, and go on that front foot,
fresh ideas, football, and someone
fresh ideas, and
shoulder, isn't it? I think that's the type.
I said I don't want to get too carried away. We've had an all right pre-season. We haven't played. We haven't played, apart from Arsenal and Chelsea, we haven't played too many tough teams, have we? I think
competition. I think they're good warm-up games, though, Arsenal and Chelsea, because they're good level opposition who play in our league. Whereas absolutely. I don't really know if City have played in pre-season, really.
All I can say about the Chelsea game quickly, Matt, we got absolutely battered.
Yeah, we got battered in the first half, but it was Chelsea's first 11 near enough.
It took Chelsea to take most of their first 11 off, mate, for us to get back in the game. And that's the worrying point. That's the worrying point only, what I see about Spurs, mate.
But I think that was some of our players' first time back. Like, it was Pierre's first game back. Kante's just I think what we've got to accept is Chelsea are miles ahead of us at this moment in time. They've just won the Champions League.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they can spend at will like that. They don't care. They want to win the league. Our goals are completely different. We need to get back into the Champions League and go from there. So
absolutely.
I think we need to just concentrate on us. Worry about Chelsea, you know, sort of when we play them. But I think we can all agree they're miles ahead of us, and they spend a hell of a lot more than us.
Absolutely.
But we've done it before, and we've bridged the gap, so we can do it again.
Absolutely, mate. We've got my kids. He went, so I bet you're happy with Dele Hoodie during the pre-season from the whole. Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you now, mate. I've sat here and watched streams, and they're absolutely slating still, Dele. I mean, and I just hope, right? I'm telling you now, fingers crossed, that Dele comes back and as a stormer and shuts some of these flipping deluded fans up. Absolutely. I mean,
I think the signs are there from what I saw yesterday.
I just think some of these fans think Dele's the only one that hasn't performed over the last couple of years. They've been absolutely half this team hasn't performed over the last couple of years, but Dele still gets the treatment. You know what I mean? I ain't saying no other players don't get the treatment. They do. But it just seems like Dele can't do no right at the minute, Matt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think some of these fans, they find it hard to come out and say, do you know what? Hands up. He looks like he's turning the corner. Do you know what I mean? They still find, Matt, some niggles to moan at.
Yeah. From what I saw yesterday, that bite was back. Like, he made a crunching tackle against our. Yeah. He got a yellow card for it. He absolutely whopped him out, mate. And then I think an Arsenal player did it to Skip or someone like that, and then Dele literally pushed him and was like, piss off, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's the bite you want in the Dele Alli. You want the tricks were back, the little flicks, the little nutmeg he tried to do and won the free kick yesterday.
Absolutely.
I don't think he'll be quite back to the level maybe 2015-16, but if he can get back to as good a level, or I think what people got to understand is a different role. It's not going to be him in the number 10.
I just think, Matt. He's realised, Matt, that
Oh, definitely. He's got a
he
chance
loves
here.
he loves the club, right? He loves the club. He loves being at Spurs. If not, he will ask for a transfer. He would have been like a Danny Rose. I want to be moved on. You know what I mean? You can tell he loves the club. You know what I mean? He's worked hard during the summer. He knows this is probably his last scenario under Nuno. I mean, and for the club. And I think he'll kick on, and I hope he does, and I really hope he does because
Yeah.
he is take away the last couple of years. He's a fantastic talent, an absolute
Great player.
fantastic talent, and it just goes to show like some of these pundits and things like that on Sky and BT and things like that, they rave about him, mate. I mean, they rave about him. They still say that you need still a Dele Alli in your.
I think that's why they call him out a lot and criticise him, because they can see the footballer he could be,
Yeah,
or could, if he gets his attitude right. So
yeah,
yeah, it seems like he's got his head switched on again. So yeah, hopefully he can just prove everyone wrong, and then yeah. I mean, the
yeah,
signs were there yesterday. He hit the post twice. The first one he probably should have definitely scored. The second one was a bit unlucky, but I think there's a goal coming, definitely.
yeah, absolutely. And Bats and Stats says, I'm fed up with all these Spurs channels making vids just for views with no content in it. I'd rather watch you and Matt as you give more content and you actually engage with the people in the comments. Yeah, I mean, I said Facts and Stats. I don't want to be coming on here and sparking about other channels. So, I mean, they have to do what they need to do. You know what I mean, if that's the way they want to go, just getting views up, getting likes up, and I mean, down to them. I mean, there's nothing to do with me and Matt. But yeah, we like to engage. Yeah, this is why our streams go on to about for 2 hours or 2 hours and a half, because we engage with the people in the comments. You know what I mean, because you're the guys who subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean, and who help support the channel. You know what I mean? So without you guys, you know what I mean, we won't be having nearly 700 subscribers on the channel. You know what I mean? So me and Matt, we just act differently. You know what I mean? We don't want to be sitting on here and criticising other channels. That's their way. That's their way. If that's how they want to go. I mean, we act differently. I mean, and I've said it all along. I mean, I'm not on here just to try and make money out of it. I'm here just to because we enjoy it, Matt, innit?
Yeah, we really
Matt,
do.
do you want to have a reaction to Facts and Stats there?
Yeah, I think, like you say, we're not the type that, have a go at other channels, or, whatever they want to do, that they want to do, or they need to do to make, more content, more views, more likes. But, we're not about that. For me, this is about, I've grown close with a lot of people, in the comments. I think Simon and I have grown pretty close over, the lockdown, and we like when we need to vent or frustrate, or, because we can't talk about it to, well, I don't talk about it to my missus, and I'm sure you don't. They probably don't want to hear it. So when you need to talk to someone who's kind of on your wavelength, or sees maybe things as slightly differently, then yeah, it's just nice, and it just, I don't know, it just kind of sets you up for the next game, or when you just need, or if you just feel you just need to, chat to someone, and we want to make people laugh. We want to make people just come on here and have a good time, because the world hasn't been in the, the best situation, and it's probably still not now. There's still people, dying, or have got COVID, or fat people with family problems, mental health, and all that kind of thing. So we're just on here to pretty much have a good time, talk about the club we love, and yeah, what will be will be. If we get thousands of views, yeah, brilliant. But we're not really that bothered, to be honest. So
Exactly.
I just
We've
like to
got
come
jobs.
on here.
I mean, we've got jobs to pay other things. Yeah. You know what I mean, I'm not. You can't rely on something like this. I mean, it's such hit and miss. As I said before, you need to have thousands of subscribers to get the channel up there, making some serious dough. You know what I mean? And used to say, yeah, tough times. I hope you guys can recover and find more time. There's never free time. I mean, that's the
No.
thing. When you're working in the industry, what Matt does, and the industry what I'm doing now, I've gone back to my old industry. I mean, it's busy times. I mean, and at the end of the day, that earns our money, that pays our bills. I mean, that comes first over things like this. Simple as that. Full stop. I mean, and when we have got free time, me and Matt will say, right, you're free, I'm free, we'll do a stream. And that's how we roll. I mean, that's how we go. I mean, we don't take time off of work just to do a stream. Do you know what I mean? What's earning us no money, and we'll lose money at work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the point. I mean, we got Monteza Ali. He says, who replaced the goal contribution from absolutely? What a question! What a comment! What a comment, pal. I just think so many fans totally forgot about Gareth Bale. I mean, and another player when he first came in, everyone loved him, and then he started getting some stick. Oh, he's not living up to the Bale. Oh, he's past it and things like that. I think people forget that he won us 4 games on his own. I think he calculated about 12 points on his own with his goal contributions. We're missing 12 goals. This guy got you 12 goals last year.
90 minutes as well, didn't he? Towards the end of the season, he beat Jesse Lingard. And Lingard had a hell of a season. So
he's an absolute talent. I don't care what anyone says. I'll sit here and row with someone for hours about Gareth Bale, because Gareth Bale is a serious talent. At the age of 31, he showed at the back of the last season. I think he needed to get himself to that stage where he was on the last 10 games. He was sensational. We can rely on Gareth Bale. You know what I mean? I'm not saying to start. I'm not saying like, when you got someone like Gareth Bale, Matt, in and around the box, mate. You know what I mean? With 10, 15 minutes to go. There's no other player in the world you want. I mean, to bring on and try and change the game. Gareth Bale is a serious talent.
Especially when
and such a shame, Matt.
Defenses are tired as well. 60, 70 minutes. You bring on a fresh Gareth Bale for 20 minutes. Have some of that, mate.
And he did, Matt. He did look fresh in it on the last 15 games, 10 games where it was. He looked fresh. He got himself in good shape. He looked like he worked hard to get him back up to that. And I just think, Matt, it's a shame we didn't have one more loan for this season, because we could have done with Gareth Bale for this season as well.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely.
I think it was a shame that Mourinho didn't play him more games than he did, because I think we could have snuck into the top 4, maybe by the skin of our teeth, maybe.
Yeah, who knows what would happen, innit? Was Bale that fit? Was he ready? We don't know, do we? Because we're not there day in, day out like what Joe did. But I can see where you're coming from, Matt. It seems like there was a bit of a clash between them two.
There was that time where he went on a 4-game run where he was scoring, and then he got dropped. And then I was like, well, where is he? And then you're like, well,
absolutely,
because he wants to be more pragmatic, and I think that was the problem last season. And
I said that's a great comment, because I just think he's gone.
But
he's gone. Everyone forgot about him. I mean,
who replaces him?
Yeah, it's the problem, Matt. It's the problem.
Maybe Mora. Maybe he's had a good pre-season. Could he do a job? He could maybe get 10 to 12 goals. He's possible to do that. I think he could. He's
got it in him, Matt. Lucas Moura, and as you said there, but can he? And this is the problem. This is the talent. This is the problem you have between the Moura and the Bale. You can rely on Bale to get you 12, 15 goals. You know what I mean? He's that talent, and we saw it, Matt. We saw it. What a great talent Bale was still at the age of 31, coming to 32. He can still do a job for you. And it's such it frustrates me why we just can't go back. He's lost his number 10 as well at the club. It sounds like the club wants to push him out. Why can't just Daniel Levy in the club sits? Go back in for another loan. Why can't we just trigger that? We should have had another loan.
Maybe they've asked Paratici and Nuno doesn't fancy it. We don't know.
It's strange, because surely, I know how Nuno the way he likes to play, surely he will have said, I fancy a Bale, even if he's on my bench. With 10, 15 minutes to go.
We don't know if Bale's maybe gone. We may have offered him something and he's gone now.
Yeah, it could have been the other way. Yeah,
I'm not.
it could have been the other way.
I'm not playing. I'm not going to a conference league. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe, Matt. Maybe.
I don't know. Don't know. Yeah, and I think maybe.
But Matt's frozen again. We've got Yusuf saying, waiting for the new season. Will you guys make a fancy Premier League team? I'll probably do one. Quickly.
Yeah, I need to do mine this week.
Yeah, I got my day off today. That's the only day I've got off. So I'll probably sit down today and do one today. But Matt, yeah, quickly just go on. Before you cut out there that Gareth Bale.
Yeah, I don't think you can. Well, I don't think you can replace his goals with one single sort of player unless you're going to spend loads of money. But maybe Bergwijn and Lucas have to step up and maybe chip in with 5 goals each between them, or let's say 5 to 8 goals between them, a couple of assists, and you've got your goal contributions there. So I think overall we need to do more as a team as contributions rather than relying on one individual.
Yeah, absolutely, matey. Facts and Stats says on another day, Dele would have scored both those shots and that hit the post, and then everyone would have been raving about him again. Yes, Facts Stats. It's a shame that he needs to score goals to people rave about him instead of just looking on the other side of what he does. I mean, on and off the ball. You know what I mean? It looks like he's coming into the old Dele Alli. And I hope he does continue this. I hope he does for the rest of the season. You know what I mean? And because what he does off the ball as well, people don't really recognise it. And people, it just sounds like
he's improved. I think he's improved with that as well.
Yeah, it just sounds like people just rave about him only when he gets goals. You know what I mean? It's like, it's sad. It is very sad. You know what I mean? And Cam's Corner stream. Thanks for coming in, pal. I think we will have a good season. Let's hope so, pal. As I said, I won't judge it yet until I've seen the players come in at the end of the transfer window. And then I can have a look at the squad overall and to see if we are good enough to get that top 4. We don't know yet. That's why I said let's just be patient. Let's just be cautious about it and let's see where we are at the end of the window. And we've got Facts and Stats says, I know you two would never downplay another channel. My problem with them is it's false information and tricking the younger fan base just for clicks. Anyway, I ain't hating on them, just disappointed. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, Facts and Stats. I really can, because that's all they preach on some of these channels. They'll smash the like super chats if you want to get your chats read. And I understand some of these channels have got over like 500-600 people watching at a time or whatever. It's hard to keep up with every single thing, but it just seems like they just rattle off just for clicks, just for likes, and this is why I always said it. I would not like to have thousands of people, because I like to engage with majority of the people in the chat. You know what I mean? Yeah. And to have without paying. You know what I mean? Because we don't really sit here and say right, we're not reading no chats out unless it's a super chat. You know what I mean? And Matt, what do you reckon on that? What that said?
Yeah, I think he's pretty spot on. I think a lot of the younger generation are swayed by it, and they want to get their message across, so they pay however much it is for a super chat, and then they get it read out, and then they think, oh, maybe I can get in with the person that's doing the show, and then go on, and then eventually maybe even do start up their own one and go from there. But yeah, I think it should just be don't think there should be such thing as a super chat thing. I think everyone should be able to. Why should you have to pay just to put a message? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
don't quite understand. I think it's quite greedy, but
Yeah, I've never understand it
I get
myself.
it though. I get it from a business point of view that YouTube do that
Yeah,
and then they'll make money from it. So
yeah, exactly. They'll try and make as much money as they can. Callum says after signing Galini, Gil, and Romero, and possibly Lautaro Martinez, things are looking bright. Galini, I like the look of him.
yeah, there's a character. I quite like that.
There's a character in there. I just want to see more from this guy yet.
He'll be number
But
one.
yeah,
I think he'll be number one by the end of the season. I reckon.
what I see, he's not frightened, is he? He's not frightened to
No, apparently
admit himself.
someone who was there yesterday said he shouts a hell of a lot, like commanding his defence. I think he's settled
Yeah,
in nicely as well, hasn't he? Like he
yeah.
seems to
I
be
just
quite
think he's a
pally with
Joe
Sonny,
Hart.
and
I think he's like a Joe Hart sort of type character, but with
I
more
think he's
to give.
better. I think he's got more
Yeah,
ability.
He's with more. He's got more. He's got more to give.
I'll tell you what,
But that's what.
he's calm on the ball as well. I don't know if you watched bits of it yesterday. The way he just
Yeah,
compare him to Lloris, he's like I can play with the ball at my feet and play a good, and he's got good distribution. And I have to say, yesterday I actually thought Lloris has been working on his kicking because there was a bit where he got the ball and whacked it long, and he played Lucas Moura in behind the defence. And if Edison did that, we'd all be, So
yeah,
I thought that was Lloris has obviously been working on stuff behind the scenes, possibly, or Nuno being the goalkeeper that he used to be. Maybe he had a
yeah,
few wise words with him.
yeah. Absolutely. And with Hill, Brian Hill, coming to the club.
Tomorrow, I've heard. Apparently he's back tomorrow. Apparently straight in tomorrow. No holiday for him.
I just think this guy will surprise a few people.
Yeah, I think he's
I'm
got a
telling you
lot
now.
of talent. He looks very good on the ball.
Yes, again, it's another one who's been heavily criticised about, you can't just go off the YouTube channels and watch these videos. And listen, this guy, I think, is going to be the real deal. I really
Especially in
do
the
think
Olympics. I
the
thought he was
talent,
very good.
when he smacked the bar the other day, that shot,
Oh,
unbelievable. Seriously.
he didn't
This
even
guy,
start the game,
seriously,
did he? He was on the
seriously,
bench.
this guy reminds me of David Silva of City. This guy has got low gravity. He gets the ball, he weaves in and out of people. If he can get his goal contributions up, but he's only 20, guys, 20 years old.
One for the
He's got a
future,
lot to
more.
give. He's got a lot to give. I think he'll give more than what Lamela gave us. Trust me. I'll tell you now. I wouldn't be surprised if he gave us more this season than what Lamela gave us for over 8 years. Trust me. I mean, it wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
It can even go two ways. Brian Hill can come in and Nuno say, right,
yeah,
you're in the under 23s. You're gonna just gonna see how we go, and or he's in from the start. Me personally,
I think he's in the squad.
there's no
I
other
don't think
way.
he's going to start.
He's got to be on that bench at least. He's got to be in that 13 squad. He's got to be. He's got to be, mate.
He won't be
he's
for a
got the
week
talent.
or two, though, will he? So
No,
just tomorrow.
I
He's
won't
back.
reserve him, Matt. I'll give him a fair few months, mate, or even longer than that. You know what I mean? Because I know for sure this guy has got serious talent, and I think he'll bring it to the table. I'll quickly go on Romero, Matt, and you can go back to Hill and Romero. Romero, again, I've watched him a fair few times for Inter Milan. He looks a very good defender. Looks commanding. He looks like he doesn't give two hoots. He's a very strong guy. He's 6 foot, so he looks like a guy who I think he plays in a free. I think someone's heard that he plays better in a free. Looks like Nuno won't go as a 3. It looks like Nuno's going to go with a 4. But what I've seen of him, yeah, he looks the real deal. And just hoping he can continue that in the Tottenham shirt. And let's get someone else in. Someone go out and spend another 50, 60 million on another player. You know what I mean? Come on, let's be serious about this. I mean, if we want to go places this season, we We can't have Davin Sanchez or Diaby beside him. Not a chance. So, Matt, your insight on Brian Hill and Romero coming to the club?
Yeah, Brian Hill. I think he does look a good player, and I watched bits of him in the Olympics, and he actually didn't even start. He came on and completely changed both games,
absolutely.
And I think that takes a lot of credit. And I know people will say, "Oh, well, they're not very good players in the Olympics." Dani Alves played in the Olympics. Malcolm, who scored the winner for Brazil, used to play for Barcelona and was linked with us at one stage. Richarlison played for Brazil. So there was players there that were good enough. So all that rubbish about there's no good players in it is, well, it's not true, is it? But he certainly looks like a talent. I think even if he can stay fit for a season, he's done more than Lamela ever has. Yeah, I think, like you say, I think, and fair play to the kid. He's had a season in Spain. He's just had an Olympics, and he's coming to Spurs tomorrow already. No break for him. No holiday to, the Bahamas or whatever.
No.
It's straight in, do the business, and report when you're supposed to report. And hopefully he's got a good attitude on him, which it seems that way. He'll get stuck in, and maybe he'll integrate him into the bench in the next couple of weeks or months or whatever it'll be. It'll be up to Nuno to see what he's like. And I doubt he speaks much English, so he's got to settle in and get himself used to a new country as well. But yeah, Brian Hill, exciting signing, and I kind of see the David Silva type sort of player in there.
Definitely,
it'd be a good
absolutely.
talent.
Absolutely.
On to Ramiro. What can we say? Commanding centre back. Hopefully he'll give everyone a bit of a kick up the arse. In defence, we needed a good centre back who's commanding. Seems like he's slotted in really well. Looks like he's got a good sort of relationship with Son. He knows a few of the Argentinian boys. Hopefully, he'll be fit in the next week or two, and then we can go from there. We could integrate him in. But he was there yesterday, part of the sort of squad, but not playing. So he's obviously integrating really well, and I think he really wants to do well for the club, and and prove to him why he's worth 42 million. And hopefully he can make other players around him better as well.
This is what I was about to get at, Matt. This may bring the Celso on. I mean, he's got his mates around him, isn't it? I mean, he's a bit of a gabbling now, isn't it? I mean, I
think Celso's got the ability. It's whether he can stay fit, because he does get injured a lot.
We know when he was at Betis, he had a lot of ability, done very well, and we were raving highly about him. It's just the fitness levels with him. He gets injured too many times. And it's like a Lamella all over again, isn't it? He needs to get himself in a good shape and start working hard, because undoubtedly he's got the talent. Undoubtedly, Lo Celso's got great talent. We haven't seen enough, and this is why I say I'm on the fence with Lo Celso still. I want to see more. Same with Tungi. Exceptional talent. We need to see more from these players. And if we do, Matt, it'll be bloody scary. It'll be if these guys can come into the season, mate, for the whole season, tick the way they can play, mate. Whew, wow, we've got a midfield, mate. We've probably got one of the best midfielders in the league. Trust me, if they all play to their potential. Do you know what I mean? And with Lautaro Martinez, we've gone through this one.
I'm not saying much until it's pen to paper and done. I'll comment on. I just think
at the minute it's a load of old ball.
I think Inter are going to drive a hard bargain as well. They're going to want to get as much money as they can for him, because they need to get out of this situation they're in.
I just think, Matt. He's not worth that money. I really don't, mate. But what I've seen, Matt, for his record, and okay, we can't go on that. You can't really look into that much. But if people like looking into it much, mate, and you go on that, he ain't done great, mate. He ain't done great as a career yet. But the good thing about it, he's got age on his side. He's only 23, and playing with maybe because they around better players and things like that.
Yeah.
If Harry Kane stays and we do bring this guy in, it can bring him on. You know what I mean? And
It'd be
it
a
could
hell of a
be,
strike force, wouldn't it? It would be,
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
it'd be pretty scary.
But
One
I
thing I
would not.
will say,
Go
I think fair play to Nuno yesterday when he was asked about Lautaro Martinez. They
Yeah,
asked him in a
he
report,
said,
and he didn't comment on it.
yeah.
Unlike a certain respectful, maybe one of the best coaches in the world, Mr. Guardiola, who didn't give a crap about when he was asked about Kane. He went, "Yeah, I'd have him. Yeah, but Tottenham don't want to negotiate."
Do you
But
know?
every other manager has the
Do
respect
you know
to
what,
go,
Matt?
"No, we'll talk about it when
Do you know
he's
what,
a
Matt?
City player." Or
He's just he's what Guardiola's doing there. He's just driving a deal. That's
yeah,
what he's doing. He's driving a deal.
I think it's the
I
level of
would not
respect
read.
for me.
You know what, Matt? I won't look into it much because
No,
Guardiola is not the only one who's done it in the past, and
no.
he won't be the last. I mean, there'll be. And to me, we can sit here and slag Guardiola off. Me personally, Matt, didn't really get to me. I mean, at the end of the day, because I know Kane's off. I know Kane wants to go. To me, I'm more disappointed with Harry Kane. I'm more
Yeah.
disappointed with Harry
Yeah,
Kane. Everyone bangs on about this top professional is and things like that. If he's that top professional and he was
hasn't
due
proved
back,
it, has he?
he
Yeah,
was due back
hasn't
to
proved
training
it.
on Monday and he didn't turn up. And then comes out 4 days later because he knows Grealish has gone to City. You know what I mean?
And Messi
Now he
maybe
wants to
going
try to build
City.
bridges back and he wants to. I'm returning. Mate, you've just tripped yourself up, mate. Absolutely tripped yourself up. And Grealish went the right way about it, right?
Yeah.
He went back to training, right? The bids come in. It was in his clause. They triggered the 100 million Champions League as well, and he's gone the right deal about it. Harry Kane,
If
I'll blame.
anything-
Do you know what? I'll blame Harry Kane more than Pep at this present moment.
Yeah, no, 100%. But what I would say is, shows how stupid Harry Kane and his agent are because they didn't insert a clause. Whereas
And if it is right,
player
that
like
the brothers the flipping agent, that Charlie guy, he sounds like a right flipping
Muppet.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. I mean, so everyone says, "Oh, he's being told he's a professional footballer who's getting paid £200,000 a week, right? At a very good club who adores him, who loves him, and I think he disrespected Tottenham. Not only the
100%.
club, the fans. He's let everyone down. I mean,
I'm very disappointed in him. I'm actually really angry, to be honest.
Yeah.
To be honest, if the bid came in, I'd probably let him go because I don't want a player that doesn't want to be at Spurs.
Matt, I've said this for a long time, Matt. He doesn't want to be at Tottenham. It goes to show in that overlap with Gary Neville.
Yeah.
He didn't say he wanted to go, right? But it's the way he worded some of them comments. Yes. That
which tells
he wants
me
to win trophies. He doesn't want to leave empty-handed and things like this. And just let him go. And I've stop doing this Berbatov deal. That's what it is. It's going to be like a Berbatov all over again. Last day of the season, we got Fraser flipping Campbell and 30 million for flipping Berbatov. You know what I mean? And we don't want to. Seriously, we've learned our lessons. I hope Levy has learned his lesson. Just get the flipping deal done early. Just get it done. You want to go? Right, let's go. I know what people say in the chat. They'll go,
today, isn't there? So
yeah, I know what people say, Matt.
Chat with him today. So I think we'll learn a lot after today. If he doesn't want to be there, Nuno wants him out, from what I've heard.
Yeah. What I say? I mean, there'll be people in the chat saying, "Yeah, but he's got 3 years. We hold the cards." Yeah, he's got 3 years. I mean, I don't care about that. At the end of the day, the guy don't want to play for Tottenham. Let's get him out.
He could make it a really negative atmosphere, and then all the first team players will know he doesn't want to be there. You don't want to play with someone who doesn't want to be there.
Exactly, Matt. Absolutely fantastic. Karen says Mourinho ruined Delhi.
I don't think that's fair because I think even Delhi's come out and said.
I'll quickly get into it because there's a load of comments here waiting. Mourinho, when he first come in, he was one of the first players he went to and say, "You're going to be one of my main men," and he did for the first 6-7 games. Delhi was on fire. Delhi was back to like where we thought, wow, we got Delhi back. Something's happened. I mean, behind the scenes with him and Mourinho. That's when it went sour. He didn't pick him, did he? He throws him out the team completely, the squad. So I think that's a bit unfair there, Callum. It's your opinion. I totally respect your opinion, mate. But I don't think Mourinho. I think Dele's done it for himself. You know what I mean? Because it sounds like he was undermining Mourinho's philosophy, his tactics, and things like that. You got to understand he's the manager of the club. You know what I mean? And if that's how he wants to play, if you don't like playing that philosophy or the style of play, Mourinho's the sort of guy. He's not the sort of guy say, "Yes, Dele, how do you want to play?" No, he's not like that, is he? Mourinho says, "Get in the young 23s. Go on, get over there." You know what I mean? So, me personally, I think it could be bits and bobs there, Matt. And Dele was a beast under Poch. As Matt said earlier,
last season he wasn't.
No. As Matt said, it was the 15-16 season, or sort of the 16-17. It's one of them seasons.
And well, it was two, wasn't it? He came in, did really well and then the 17-18, so he was even better. Yeah,
absolutely. It was absolutely on fire, wasn't it? The records, the stats, and the unbelievable scoring record, the system. It was better at that stage than Gerrard and Lampard. You know what I mean?
And Scholes,
but people's got to remember, it wasn't only Jose. It was under Poch as well. He went sour. So Dele's the one who's got to look at himself and say, listen, and I think he has. Over the summer, I think he has looked at himself and said, listen, I've got no more chances here. This is my big chance. I need to get myself right. And we don't know, Matt. There could have been some personal problems behind it. We don't know. We don't know what goes on in these personal lives for these footballers. And facts and stats say
he can turn it around.
Yeah, absolutely. Facts and stats say could Dele step back up and cover Bale's goal? He could do. Because we know he can get 15, 20 goals in the season. We know he's capable of doing it. He's going to want to do it for himself. He's got to show everyone now that
we need everyone in midfield to get a couple more goals than they did last season. Can't just rely on Kane and Son all the time. We need the to step up.
Exactly.
We need Ndombele, need Ali.
We need a lot of players.
Need Mora. Yeah.
We need a lot of players.
You look at Man City when they won the league. It's not just they had multiple scorers that all chip in. Defenders, midfielders. Even Chelsea as well. They had goals all over the pitch. That's how they won the Champions League and came. Was it third, wasn't it? Yeah,
absolutely, mate. And we need a lot of players to step up, especially this season now. And Bale played yesterday against AC Milan in a friendly. Yes,
missed a pen, didn't he? Did he miss a penalty?
I don't know what went on, Matt. I just saw it on Twitter. Someone put it on Twitter about Bale starting for Real Madrid against AC Milan, but I just think Madrid have got injury worries as well. They've sold a lot of players, and they're very tight on the player situation at the minute. So it sounds like Bale has to play, and it just goes to show they don't want him at the club. They're taking his number away from him. You know what I mean? So it looks like they do want to freeze him out of the club. And this is why I'm a bit frustrated that Tottenham haven't gone in for that. As what Matt said earlier, we could have done, and Bale may not have wanted it to come back, or Madrid said no. So we could, or as Matt said, Nuno probably didn't want him. Paratici didn't want him. So it could have been an array of things. Mike says under Nuno, there's plenty of players who can chip in with goals. Now we are more forward thinking than we were under Jose. Yeah, I can say that. It looks like we are more forward thinking. It looks like we're going back to the Poch days where we're on the front foot, we're pressing, and it could be a lot of players who can chip in with goals if we play that style of play. That's what me and Matt just covered there. I mean, there's a lot of players there you can cover, like the Lucases, and the Delis, and the Moras, the Celso, Tungis, the Bergvines. I mean, these are like last scenarios for these players as well, Matt. The Celsos, the Tungis, the Bergvines, because I mean, they've been a couple of seasons now. You know what I mean, and they need to start hitting the ground running. You know what I mean, and we got THFC Max says, "Good day, lads. Hope both are well. Are doing well. Good to see the channel growing. Also, North London is white. Thank you very much, Max.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, we'll rather have that in the league. City start Gio over Delhi against City. I think if you're gonna go with one of them against City, Matt, I'll go with Delhi against City. Gio ain't had much gameplay, has he, really?
No, exactly. And you need him to get a bit fit. Delhi's played the whole pre-season and looked pretty good, you know, and he had a good performance yesterday. So I think it'd be harsh to drop him, but
yeah, I'll definitely start with Delhi against City.
you could always bring Lo Celso on, who's pretty good impact sub, in fairness.
Yeah, exactly. You got Yusuf saying, "I'm waiting for Lukaku return." Yeah, I say he's a good player, but you're paying well over the odds for. I think Matt is Lukaku about 28, something like that, is it?
Who's 27, 28? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah. Would you guys take is it Falatoric over? That's another player I haven't seen much of. And
Vlahovic has only had one good season, whereas Martinez has done it over a couple of seasons. So, it's so hard, but it's a striker, isn't it? So,
I tell you now, I did see one of his goals at Falatoric, and just remind me of a Harry Kane, where he just didn't get over the goal.
Think he's more of a hold-up play Kane type striker.
Yeah,
maybe if Kane was to go Vlahovic and Martinez, why can't we have both?
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't need to replace Kane, so
yeah. You should say is there unbiased show this season? If we get the time, we will do. YouTube get like 40% of the money from super chats. Yes, we totally understand. That's why YouTube do it, and YouTube. They can't wait till these channels get past 1,000 subscribers because they can just literally just throw the flipping super chat at you, and they make 40% out of it. They don't have to do nothing, do they? Sit there and just wait and just roll the money in. Hill was playing for a struggling but he went on loan. He couldn't get into the Seville team because Seville were a good team. They've got good players, and he's a youngster, 20 years old. And it's like many teams, good youngsters can't get into these first teams, you know what I mean? And he did well when he went there as well. So I think this guy's got, he's a talent. Lads, Lamela is the GOAT. I don't think so. A guy who's been at the club for 8 years, and the agreement was we'll give Roma a bonus if he scores over 20 goals for Tottenham. He only scored 16 in the Premier League. That's what I meant. In 16 Premier League goals in 8 years. That's not a GOAT. That's not a GOAT. That's more like a fucking sheep to me. I mean, absolutely. That's definitely not a GOAT to me. Wayne says, who would you bring in as your ideal midfielder, centre back, forward, and right back, Matt?
Centre back, I'd like to see Botman, left-sided centre back from Lille. Midfielder, I'd like to see Renato Sanchez from Lille, and right back. I'd like to see Lamptey from Brighton, but that's me.
Yeah, absolutely. Lamptey. It's another one. And I reckon we get him cheap as well, Matt. I really do. I don't think it'll be cost over the bomb. I think we can get him cheap. Or Max Aarons. I prefer Lamptey, me personally, over Max Aarons. And a centre back, I'll go all day long, mate. I won't change my mind. Connor Cody. Let's go for him.
Yeah, we would.
More experience. I know he's 28 and the club don't like signing older players too much, but this guy is a leader. And apparently Apparently, Pavatici's been sent out to look for a leader. Nuno wants a leader at the back. No, in the Premier League, as a Premier League, who knows the Premier League, is a proper leader as well, Connor Cody. You know what I mean? He's a proper leader. There's no better outlet than Colin Cody, I don't think, in the Premier League. Someone who come in, hit the ground running.
I'd have him or someone like Lewis Dunk, because I think he's captain for Brighton. He's a leader and he's very good. What I'd say is better at Cody.
He's younger as well. Is he younger?
I think he's 28. I think he's 27, 28.
Right.
But
so around about the same age as Cody.
Yeah, but I think what he's better at than Cody is probably on the ball, and he's got that sort of long ping like an Alderweireld used to have. So, but whether they'd sell their captain, I'd after selling Ben White, probably not. So, probably Connor Cody might be
he might be the best choice.
He's got a long-term contract, hasn't he? 4 or 5 years left, or whatever it is.
Absolutely, pal. And Wayne says, has Ali been here too long? A new challenge for him, perhaps?
Well, we're giving him Dombele a season, and you've got to give Ali one.
You could say he's been here. He has been here a while now, and he has contributed.
Lamela was here for 8 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and he's contributed a lot to the Tottenham team. It's only because it's not because he's had a couple of bad years. Let's give up on him. Let's chuck him away. Every player in the Premier League goes through. I don't care. Every player goes through bad patches. I mean, some real bad patches.
Plus, let's be honest. The actual team haven't been fantastic.
No,
we've stagnated over the seasons. So,
what makes me laugh? There's people out there rather have Winks still in the squad over Delhi. Oh. These people are absolutely deluded. Absolutely deluded. I mean, like Sissoko, Lamella's, everyone raised about. What do you see in Lamella? What does he bring to the team instead of the passion? Oh, he brings passion. Who gives a toss? Who gives a flying toss about passion?
Winks doesn't even want to be at Tottenham. Every time I see him come on the pitch, his tracking back runs are pathetic. If he can't get it, he gives up. He just goes, "Nah, I'm not doing that."
Yeah,
at least
I've seen a lot of that.
Busts his balls. You know what I mean? He may not get them, but he tries.
He tries, exactly. And that's what you can't fault Lamella, as I said, with the passion. But that don't win you games. No. He's been brought to the club to contribute goals, assists, and things like that. And his record is absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. I mean, for a guy that... Another player, Matt, everyone flipping raved about him. Oh, we've got the next fucking Messi and things like this. Wow. Wow. He's been a disaster, mate. A disaster, and I'm glad he's gone. Good luck to him at Seville. I mean, I wouldn't hate on Lamella, but
he'll be injured by next week. Don't worry.
Lamella is the GOAT, greatest over aggressive tackler. Facts and stats. He's nowhere near a GOAT. I don't know if you're having a joke with us. Come back in the chat if you are having a joke with. But he's nowhere near a GOAT, mate. He's more, as I said, he's more like a sheep, mate. I mean, but Matt, before we end the show, pal, let's just talk on Harry Kane and his flipping embarrassment. What's going on here with this player? What's your views on it, Matt? What's your views? Is it time now we say to him, listen, let's send him. Let's get rid of him. If he doesn't want to be at the club, it sounds like he doesn't want to be at the club. Is that how you're thinking at the minute, Matt, about Harry Kane?
Yeah, I think I'm edging towards it. I thought, too little, too late. That statement that came out the other day that he posted on Twitter, he didn't even apologise. They definitely didn't say to him, "Yeah, you can come back a week late." They definitely didn't say that. They were like, August the 2nd, you need to be back. And he goes and extends his holiday. No excuse, because he knew if he extended his holiday, if the City move doesn't go through, he won't have to play the first game of the season. So he's not going to have to play against them because he's not going to be ready for City because he's only going to be back in first team training on Thursday. And then he's only got 2 days. And it's going to be awkward when he comes back in because there's going to be players there that know he doesn't want to be there. I mean, we all know he doesn't want to be there. So people who actually know him and speak to him are going to know. Like, it's not, you know, it's just been terribly handled. You know, I thought I could forgive him even after the Gary Neville interview. And I think we all let him off quite lightly with that compared to what he's done now. But he's taking the piss now, I think, personally. I think he's disrespected the club. I think he's been... I think there's a way about going about it. Considering you've been here since 11 years of age, and I'm looking at how Heung-min Son's handled his situation. He's just signed a 5-year contract. And he's only been at the club, what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
And he said he wants to win trophies with Tottenham, not go just somewhere else and go and win them with ease. Because where's the challenge in that? Me and you could go to City and maybe win a title if we sit on the bench. It's not
exactly. Yeah,
it's not hard. Surely it would be much better for him to have a legacy.
What makes me laugh with Harry Kane's story, that I want to win trophies, and things like that. How many bloody finals and semi-finals that this guy hasn't turned up in?
You've backed it, mate. You've had 4 shots in 4 finals. You haven't turned up for England twice, and you haven't turned up for Spurs 3 times.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I'm not, before everyone...
I'm not just blaming... No, I'm not just blaming Kane. Obviously,
before
it's
everyone
club
on us, we're not slagging Kane off. We know exactly what he's done for the club. Sensational
he's got to take some responsibility on. Big time players step up in the big games.
Absolutely.
And I'm afraid in finals and semi-finals, he's not there. He's never
what
there.
Makes me laugh, Matt, as well, when people rave about he's a massive role model for players. He's no role model at the minute, mate. To no one.
No.
For what he's doing at the minute.
Absolutely shocking. I never thought I'd call him unprofessional, but I'm afraid I have to. Yeah. And I think the way I think he's just going to have angered Daniel Levy and the board. And
what makes me laugh, Matt? What makes me laugh as well, mate? I hear other fans as well on his channels and saying Kane's in his own right what he's doing. I sit there go, what the hell are you absolutely on about? Yeah. Why is he in his own right? He's got 3 years to give to Spurs. He's got a 3-year contract to play still. He's on 200 grand or maybe more a week, right? He's a professional footballer. He's an idol. He's a role model to a lot of people.
England captain. England
captain. And Tottenham's vice captain. And he acts like this. If he wants to move, you'd at least come back to training on that Monday morning and gone straight to Nuno and straight to flipping Daniel Levy and said, let's talk about this. I want to go. Right?
Yeah.
And let's do it man to man. Let's act like an adult.
Yeah, exactly. Or you at least hear Nuno out and at least give him the respect and maybe see we don't know what this project's going to be like.
Exactly.
From what I've heard from Ramiro, when he got off the phone from, Paratici, Nuno and Levy, he wanted to come straight away. Yeah. So maybe it's going to take someone like a Kane to go, and then we actually go and win something, and then he looks like a right mug. Because it would be quite funny. As much as he's done for the club, I can't forgive him at this moment in time for what he's done. Because he could have derailed our season already with his actions. He could upset the dressing room. And it just puts a dampener on our club again when we want to go in at a positive stage into the beginning of the season. And I don't care what you say. That Gary Neville interview that he did 4 games before the end of the season, that affected us because after that Villa game, or when we lost, the players stopped playing after that interview. They were like, "Well, what the hell is going on here? Our best player wants to leave, and it has a negative impact on the club and the players, and we stopped playing." And I believe maybe without the interview, and if he would have come out after the season had finished, who knows where we might have been. You just never know.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely spot on. I said he's gone the wrong way.
Yeah, I'd probably take the 120, 130 mil plus Bernardo Silva, and I'd be done with it. I'd be like, there you go. We'll have Bernardo. He can score goals, mate, and he'll give us something in midfield that we don't have because he's class.
I'd rather take a Laporte.
I don't think they're going to give him to. And look, apparently Bernardo wants to leave, So I'm thinking
Yeah.
it from. I don't think he
Banana
turned down
won't be
Spurs.
it won't be a bad option either. It'll be a good option.
But he could play the number 10 role that we're craving that we haven't replaced Eriksen. Could you imagine replacing Eriksen like a Bernardo Silva? And
And
if you
maybe
get him, you could sell
yeah.
him on because
Yeah.
he's still young. He's like 24, 25.
Yeah. Or maybe going with the 130 million as well. We go and get Martinez and a Flatters. Get both.
Yeah.
Go get
Or just or the positions that we need, like another massive centre back or a really good midfielder alongside. I don't know. The options are there. I think if he wants to go,
it's about time we start acting as a big club, and this is the problem, Matt. If you act as a small club, you're going to get small club mentality. Finishing 8th, 9th, 10th. You know what I mean? I think it's time now. We need to start reacting and start acting as a big club. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go and spend these 50, 60 million on these players. You know what I mean? Because these are the sort of players who will get us back in the top 4. You can forget the title race for a fair few years. Top 4 is our aim. We've got to get back in that top 4, Matt. We really have to, mate. Over a trophy. Well, we ain't won for ages, so I'd love to win a trophy. I'd love to win a trophy.
We need that top 4 more, don't we? If we want to really go to the next stage, or go back to where we were, then we need it. So, as much as the trophy would be great.
For everything, mate. I think
the top 4 we need, personally, after the money we've lost.
But for Harry Kane, mate, just to finish off Harry Kane quickly, I just think for the better of him now, he needs to go. I mean, it's just, if he really wanted to stay, Matt, Monday he would have been back in training, happy as Larry, training with the players. There's definitely something going on. He don't want to come back. And
it'll be interesting.
It's going to be interesting because
if Spurs post a picture of him, if they post a picture of him in training, I don't think they will. I think they're going to be very cautious of how they handle this, but I don't know.
I think they need to give him the ultimate, mate. Seriously, give him the ultimate. And
hopefully he's going to have this chat.
Daniel Levy needs to go get a deal. He needs to. I think swallow his pride a bit, Matt. Swallow his pride and say, listen, I'm not going to get the 150, 60 million or what I want. But if it is true that they will offer 120, 130 plus penalties, take it, snap their hands off, say, right, there you go. Kane's gone. That's the move he wanted. We're getting 130 million.
I mean, Bernardo Silva is probably worth about 50 to 60 million, isn't he? So it rounds it up to about 180 million, which is pretty fair.
Yeah, absolutely. And facts and stats says, I'm glad Lamela has left. No more injuries in training. No more 90% of training injuries come from a Coco tackles, according to players in interviews. And he goes on to say, Gullin is saying the same thing about Tottenham's and Nuno's plans. That's why he wanted to come. Yeah, already. So there is something there that it's attracting these players, isn't it? Something there that's been said. I just hope, Matt, it's not all talk, mate. I just hope what they've said to these players, they're going to go ahead with it, mate. You know what I mean? And that's why I say, Matt, we've got a long way this transfer window yet. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if one or two surprise transfers. I'm telling you now, 1 or 2 surprise transfers. I'm telling you, because he can pull it at the back. We know he can, because under Hitchin, he will have got this Romero deal over the line. I'm totally confident he will have got this deal over the line.
No.
But Paratici's got something about him, and he doesn't give up on a transfer, and he'll no skate hard. You know what I mean? And I just think there's 1 or 2 surprises. Harry Kane won't be his first player by the end of the season, by the end of the transfer window. I think he'll be gone.
I think this week's going to be quite big in general.
Crucial,
I think today's the talk with Nuno and Kane. So I think it depends how that goes. They'll make a decision because Nuno, if he doesn't want it and he can see it, he'll be like, I don't want to play. He wants everyone on board. And we need to get that situation resolved quickly this week because we've got a big game against Manchester City.
Yeah,
the first Premier League game of the season. We need to.
We don't want that hanging over. Yeah, we don't want that hanging over. You know what I mean?
No.
And I just want it done, mate. So just
Yeah.
get the
I
deal
want
done.
some clarity. And
Yeah.
if let's say he does stay or does, I want him to come out and do an interview. I want an honest interview. I don't
Yeah.
where he says it all. I want to know what the hell went on
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
because we're owed that.
Absolutely.
We're what? Yeah,
It sounds like his brothers had a big input in this, isn't it? His agent saying just stay away. You're probably going to make big noises. They'll push through a
but
transfer.
I do think Kane's had a big say in it as well. I don't think I'm not going to let him off that lightly that his brother's
No,
done everything. Kane knows
no.
what he's doing. He's not.
He's a top professional, Matt. He's a top professional. He's a role model. He's an icon to a lot of youngsters. And with him acting like this, I mean, it'll just rub off on some of these youngsters. I think they can act like this when they get older.
Yeah, exactly.
Me personally, I'm just a bit disappointed with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm really disappointed.
he has done wonders at Tottenham. I mean, but hasn't won us no trophies. Hasn't turned up in finals or semi-finals. And
Yeah.
fans need to have a look at that as well. I mean, his flipping record is shit. I mean, and if he wants to be put out there as one of the best strikers in the world, you turn up for finals like what Ronaldo does, what Messi does.
I mean, no coincidence. He wasn't playing in the Ajax semi-final, and we went on to win. I'm not saying that's because of he's not playing, but we can do it without him. We've done it before.
Mate, we can go on and have a good season without Harry Kane.
Maybe I'm not kind of without him because we're not as predictable. We've got no one knows what Son's like up front because it hasn't really happened that much.
Yeah, absolutely. Kane, Son's more capable of grabbing 20 goals. Easy. Doesn't matter what position he plays. He'll pop up the goal. Yeah, absolutely. We need a focal point up top, and that's the thing. If Kane does go down,
Simon, we've had top strikers before. We've had Lineker, we've had Sheringham, we've had Berbatov, we've had Keane, we've had Defoe. We've replaced them. That's the way it is.
We've gone on. Yeah, and we've gone on.
And maybe we need this. Maybe we need to rebuild and use the Kane money to go to the next stage. Maybe this will bring on like a Dane Scarlett as well. Chuck him in there for a couple of games. I mean, see what he can do as well. I mean, we won't be losing nothing out of it, mate, because at the end of the day, that will only give him good experience playing the first team. But at the minute, I don't think he's the answer. I think we do need to go and a direct replacement. And before we hit off, there is a couple of facts that says even Pierre the General look and sounds like he's more focused on Nuno's plans. Yeah, absolutely. Reports say that Messi confirmed PSG. Could be. We don't know what's going on there with Messi, but it looks like that's the way he's going. Wayne says get a playmaker in, and the other attacking players will bang in goals. Yeah, as Matt said, Bernardo Silva. That's where I think Bernardo would he'd go straight in there. He would, and he can play on the right hand side, so he could help out on the wing as well. And we need a right winger that scores goals, and he can do it.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. So yeah, guys. As said, looks like Messi is off, and maybe his last.
That is just a scary looking team. That PSG team.
The thing is,
if he can't win anything with that,
that's it. It's definitely wrong.
Something's definitely wrong. Yeah.
Paul Longford says, "Morning, lads. A good one yesterday." Paul, thanks for coming in, mate. We are heading out. We have been on here for 2 hours now. Good victory. I won't look into it much. It's only a pre-season, but it's good to beat the Arsenal. That's what I'll say. It's always good to beat the Arsenal. Doesn't matter what game it is or what. You just go, guys. Just go and watch AFTV and see what they feel. They're very, very, very upset about the losing, even though in a Premier League or in a friendly, they are disappointed. And go and watch Troops as well. The way Troops reacted.
Yeah, I saw that.
Weren't happy. So it's always good to get one over your enemies. I mean, but we need to kick on the league now. We need to. The fun starts Sunday. The fun starts Sunday.
And let's just concentrate on ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And Yusuf says 2 hour streaming. We've got 665 subs. Yeah. We're going all right. Bats and Sat says I agree. Sell Kane, use the money and invest wisely. Plus, I rate Scarlett's. He's performed at every level for over a decade at Spurs. He in finals as well and won trophies. They're raging. Hey, yeah, they are raging, Paul. Facts and Stats, thanks for your comment there, mate. Yeah, Scarlett will be a prospect. It'll be a big prospect.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I don't think it's the time yet.
No, got to get that right,
yeah.
haven't we?
Yeah, we've got to get that balance right. As I said, guys, great fixture yesterday. I know it's a friendly. Oh, we know it's. Do you know what it was? I didn't really celebrate it as a thing because I knew it's just a friendly. But hey, it's beating Arsenal. It's good. It's always beating Arsenal. It's good.
I mean, I sort of went, yes, come on, like that, but
Yeah,
not like I normally do.
That's it. Let's do this in the Premier League, Owen. Let's hope we can do this in the Premier League. And with the transfers, Martinez that will rumble on. Harry Kane, just as what we're saying, let's just get this done. No more dragging on for another week. Let's get this done. If he wants to go, right, City, he wants to come. What's the deal? Right, let's do this. Let's go. Let's do it. I mean, let's carry on.
I think City have to be reasonable, and if they're only going to bid 100 million, I think they're taking the mick a little bit, because if you think Lukaku's worth 100 million and Kane's worth, then that is a joke. Kane got the most assists, and it would be like asking City fan, how much do you think De Bruyne's worth?
And he's got three back-to-back golden boots in the Premier League.
At least give us the 120 to 130 and Bernardo, and you may have a deal. Yeah.
Mate, seriously, 130 plus Bernardo, take it all day long.
Don't treat us like mugs and only bid 100 million. Because if you think he's worth the same price as Jack Grealish, then you're having a laugh.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they paid over the odds for Jack. Fantastic talent. I know he is. Is he up there with the £100 million players?
No, mate.
Sorry.
60 million. If you look at Kane, got double the assists and more goals.
Yeah, absolutely. He's on another level, Kane, and that's one thing you can't take away from Kane. He's always put 100% into Spurs. And this is the disappointing reason, and this is the reaction we get from him. Do you know what I mean? It's not the way we go forward. Facts and Stats says there's no such thing as a friendly against the scum. Yeah, absolutely, mate. But I can't really get myself into the yes motivated mood. Do you know what I mean?
No,
I reacted as yes, we done the Arsenal. You know what I mean?
It was just a great. Well, it was lovely to see the Tottenham fans back in the stadium, and I can't wait for Sunday when it will be fully packed.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's going to be one hell of an atmosphere.
But yes, guys. So we have gone through a lot. We've gone through reaction. We've gone through the transfers. Harry Kane there. So thanks for everyone who's tuned in. Me and Matt will be back at some time. Hopefully, probably again by the end of the week. This depends what days Matt can do. I could probably do Friday, Matt. Anytime Friday, actually, because I think I'm off Friday actually as well. So if you're free at any time Friday.
I'm off Thursday, but I could probably work. I can do Friday, either afternoon or
yeah, I can do anytime Friday, Matt. I'm off. My missus working Friday, so I'm off. Look after boys. So anytime. If you're in touch with free,
we'll get that.
We'll do a preview, Matt, on the City game.
Yes, first one of the season. I
think 1894 podcast. They've asked us to go on to do a stream, but I don't know if he's gonna get back to me what days and times. So I said to him, we're both working at the minute, so we just got to. So
yeah, okay.
So that'd be good if we can grab a time.
Yeah, definitely.
And do that. So guys, so thanks for everyone who's tuned in today. Absolutely fantastic for your support, guys. And we'll be back. We're back with a preview if Matt can do Friday. at some point we can do a preview on the City game. It'll be a brilliant week. And that's what Matt said there. So it'll be an interesting week with Harry Kane having a talk today. Let's see what comes of this. Let's hope we can just get this deal done. Or just sort it out. If Kane decided he wants to knuckle down, that'll be happy days. That'll be even better for Spurs. Absolutely even better. I mean, like if he turns around and says he wants to go, that's the way I think it is. Let's not rumble one. Let's just get this deal done. And yeah, so guys, thanks for everyone who's tuned in today. Absolutely fantastic for your support. And we'll see you Friday, guys. Facts and Stats. Thanks, Matt and Si. Great show as always, lads. Come on, you Spurs. Yeah. Facts and Stats. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in, Paul, Yusuf, Wayne Bonner, Paul Foot as well, Max as well, Callum, Mike from Hotspur Hustler as well from Paxton Road. So thanks for all you guys who's coming today. Absolutely fantastic support. And we'll be back Friday with the preview, hopefully, for the Manchester City game. So a great rest of the day, guys. Remember, smash the like, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And get us out there, guys. Let's get us out there. And we'll see you Friday, guys. So have a smashing rest of the day, guys. I know I will. I'll just be chilling me. Matt's working late, isn't it, Matt?
Yep.
You're working. So yes, guys. I'm just finding something that I need to. There it is. So guys, thank you very much. Have a fantastic rest of the day. And from Premier Hotspur TV, I've been Simon. This has been Matt. Have a good rest of the day, guys.